Okay. Shh. Okay, so what we have here is question 6. So question 6 is a cubic function, okay? Now, if I want to know everything about this cubic function, shh. If I want to know everything about this cubic function, all I have to do right away is this. I'll just go straight to my function modes. I enter in exactly what it tells me to enter. This alone can get you so much information very cheaply, okay? So what you have here is I'll just start roughly at -2. The reason I start at -2 is I'm just looking to the left. That's -1, so -2 will have me over here. The end is that's 1 there, so maybe call it 2 or 3 there. I am sure. It'll stop at 5. Step at 1. Now, what I can see here is that see the way it's -2 -4. Does everybody see -2 -4? So -2 -4 is down there. That's -4, therefore that's -2. That makes that +2. So I know right away if this graph is accurate, I have a better feel of what's going on. I can find out, once we find out where it cuts the y-axis. The y-axis is when the x value is 0, but the y value is chosen for me. Okay, so what I do is this. Go down till x is 0. See it there? 0, 6. Now, it's definitely 0, 6. But in a test, you might be asked, how did you know that? So it's always good to do the workings with it. So for the y-axis intercept, f of x equals x cubed minus x squared minus x plus 6. But what you're guaranteed about the x value is that it's 0. So 0 cubed minus 0 squared minus 0 plus 6, it equals 6. So when the x value is 0, the f of x value is 6. Or the y value is 6. And that explains this point here. Now the next thing, and I mean this is really easy for tons of marks. It's really easy to pass this question. So easy, okay? When you see the word minimum or maximum or the word turning point, what passes you the question? Differentiate once. Now how'd you make that? How'd you remember that? Differentiation is the slope. Slope is the first derivative every time. Okay? And what you know about turning points is what, guys? What happens to the slope at a turning point? That's a positive slope, that's a negative slope. A slope that goes directly across is a slope that equals 0. So if you look at the maximum, and if you look at the turning points, they're going straight across for a brief moment in time. If you, lads, if you zoom in on a turning point, look at this. What's happening is it's going up this way, and then at the very top of the turning point, it goes straight across for a second. It's like turning a corner. You go lateral for a second. That's when you're at the peak of the turn. That means that your slope equals 0 at any turning point. That means your first derivative will equal 0. Differentiate it. How'd you differentiate x cubed, guys? X cubed differentiates into what? Okay, perfect. So look, first derivative, guys. You can write it as f dash x, or you can write it as dy dx. Your first derivative is 3x squared. Differentiate x squared. Minus 2x. Differentiate minus 1x. Minus 1. Differentiate 6. 0. Right there, guys, you've passed the question. Okay? Now, what we recognize here is that it says coordinates, plural. This means there's 2 turning points. Is that consistent with our graph? There's 2 turning points, isn't there? There's one where it's on its way up, and another one when it's on its way down and back up again. There's 2 turning points. 2 turning points occur at 2 different x values. Hence, we're going to get 2 different x values and 2 different y values. Okay, so let me show you. So what we're going to do is this, guys. We're going to do a reference number or a minus b formula. Take your choice, alright? I'll do reference number again. Reference number is -3. -3 breaks up into -3 and plus 1. I get 3x squared minus 3x plus 1x minus 1 equals 0. I factorize out 3x. Okay? And then once I'm done with that, I get 3x plus 1, x minus 1 equals 0. And once I'm done with that again, I'm going to get x minus 1 equals 0, x equals 1, 3x equals, 3x plus 1 equals 0, 3x equals minus 1, x equals minus 1 over 3. Is that alright? Now, there's two tests, and this is the important part. How do you know if it's a maximum or a minimum, okay? There's two ways, right? The first way is whichever one has the bigger y value. So I know the x values at the moment. I know that one's 1, and I know that one's minus a third. But what I have to find out is, what are the y values? Okay? Once again, I can use my calculator and I can do a real cheat here, okay? My cheat would be this. I'll just press equals, and I'll just decide to start at minus a third. Why am I starting at minus a third? Because that's the x value I'm looking for. I don't really care about the end. What does that give me there? 6.185. That gives me the y value. A better way of doing it, I suppose, would be to do this. You go back to the very top and you write out your equation. It's something cubed minus something squared. The y value is something cubed minus something squared minus 1 times something plus 6. And I go down and I figure out what exactly am I going to put in for the something. What do I need to put in for the x value? 1. So you write this down you write down exactly what you're doing. You don't just write it in the calculator, you write it in the answer as well. So you put all this here, and what you get is 5. This is the point 1, 5. The next point I have to go across, and instead of using ones, what do I have to use this time? Got to use minus a third. Okay, so minus 1/3. This is considered a pretty difficult question after you do the first part. Okay, so minus a third. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake there. Minus a third, and then after that, minus a third again. Remember when I differentiated, the slope was 0. I differentiated once, put it equal to 0. I was given a quadratic equation. I solved the quadratic equation, and I got 2 x values. The question specifically says, find the, if you look at the word coordinates, the word coordinates means that you actually have to get an x value and a y value twice. So that's at the moment I'm looking for the y values. I'm using the x values to find the y values. Okay? So that's what's in here. And then I press equals and I get this number here. I can press shift and this button here, and it tells me that 6 and 5 over 27. Oddly enough, that's the right answer. Now, there's two things you could argue here, right? So for some of you, this is such a hard question already. What I'd say your argument would be this: whichever function has the bigger y value has to be the what? The max or the min? Sorry? The function that has the bigger y value has to be the max. The function with the smaller y value has to be the min. Okay guys, we'll just stop it there today then.